And more high school football. Mikey with quite a story, a heartwarming story of a coach in DeWitt who got quite a victory ride this week. We'll look at that. You've got to see this coming up in the fifth quarter. Stay with us.
Script now to our high school coverage. An era is over in DeWitt with the completion of the freshman football season and the retirement of one legendary head coach.
To number 20, Ryan Amen, incomplete, broken up by number 84.
A win Thursday night capped a remarkable coaching career for DeWitt freshman coach Dr. Wayne Shooks. His players showing thanks by giving their coach a lift.
Yeah, it was special, except I was worried they're going to drop me in a 60. They'd drop a 60-year-old, 2-year-old man. He'll probably break a hip or something. But that's special. It's special to see them smile and be happy. You know, they were happy. We haven't lost in the league since 1987. So, you know, that's not what it's. Again, it's not wins and losses, though. It's hard for me to say that because I love to win. I'm very intense, but. It's sending the kids to the next level.
Shooks' record speaks for itself. 135 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. A sign of a job well done.
That's my job, to teach them to love football. Football is a tough game. You know, you get pounded, and it's not for everybody. And I tell them that at the very beginning. It's okay not to like football. It's okay to explore, find out you don't like it. That's okay. But hopefully most of them will like it and, you know, go on to the next level.
Valentino.
Nice pass.
The score to win 13, Chesaning 0.
Good job blocking.
Well, Coach Shooks, you know, obviously his record speaks for itself, and he is a great teacher. And, you know, he's a great teacher from a character standpoint, too. And I respect him a ton with how much he emphasizes academics and being a good person. And maybe the biggest thing of all is loyalty, because he's as loyal of a coach as I've ever been around.
What makes everything worthwhile is the relationships built with players that stand the test of time.
This fall we started, one of the parents came up to me and says, remember, he said, the first game when you yelled at me because I had red socks on? And I said, yeah, I do. His mother had him wear red socks so she could figure out which one he was on the field. And I said, you can't wear those red socks out there. He'd remembered that like 20, 25 years ago. And that's the first thing he said to me, and we laughed about that. But that's the kind of memories that you get with the kids.
Shooks and his wife now will spend time in Florida with his son and explore life after football.
I will talk to other elderly people and see what they do. But I don't plan to play horseshoes. You know, I don't plan to do some of those things. Shuffleboard doesn't appeal to me. I enjoy being with 15, 16-year-old kids. That's what I've been all my life, and I still feel more comfortable with them than I do with older people. I mean, that's my life.
Here's a neat story that John Ross did earlier this week. It's very rare that 9th grade coaches get a lot, let alone any publicity for what they've done. But in DeWitt, where football is a terrific sport, winners every single year, Rob Zimmerman's the head coach, but man, has he got a staff. And he's losing one of his assistants, the 9th grade coach, who stepped down this week with a phenomenal record, as we see in this report from our John Ross.
It was 41 years ago, 1963, when Wayne Shooks started his coaching career.
I love sports. I follow sports. I'm a sports nut, and I just wanted to be a coach.
For the past 35 years, Shooks has been here, coaching the freshman team at DeWitt, a position he'll be retiring from at the end of the season.
I wouldn't work with kids this long if I didn't love it. So, but there's a time. You have to say, you know, there's a time.
I don't even know what his record is. It's ridiculous as to how good it is. I think he has 1 loss in the last 10 years. And he teaches those kids how to win.
It's not the wins that Shooks will remember the most, but the players he's coached.
I love the kids. I love the relationship you build with them. You'll never get that except in a coaching experience. People that have never coached don't understand.
Friday morning, when the freshman season is over, Coach Shooks will shift his attentions to helping Rob Zimmerman and the varsity team in the state playoffs. And he says the perfect way to end 41 years in coaching is by winning a state title.
I've been hoping they'd win one. In '89, I thought we were going to, and then Mill Coleman beat us on the last play of the game. And last 3 years, we've been trying. We've come close.
Okay, let's go wing right, 12 boot.
On the field, he looks like a deer hunter, which is what he'll be doing after the playoffs. He'll be trading in the shotgun formation for an actual shotgun.
Deer hunting. Yeah. You can see I've got my deer hunting coat on tonight, my scent lock. I'm ready to go.
He's a great coach and a great guy. You know, he's a great role model for these kids, and he's been super for our program, and he's going to be missed tremendously.
Get out there, Ashi.
Into it, John Ross, News 10 Sports.
Can you imagine, Earl, any coach with a record of 135 wins and 2 losses in any sport at any level, like Wayne Schooks has?
That's just truly amazing. And the fact that he wants to retire, I mean, I know he's had chances to be a head coach, but he liked working with the young kids. He's done that all his life, but that's just a phenomenal record, 135-2.
The best story about him was when they played Brighton a few years ago. Greg Landry, the former Lions coach, or Lions quarterback, was the 9th grade coach at Brighton. DeWitt goes down to Brighton with about 17 guys. Brighton's got 8 million kids. Landry says, can we waive the mercy rule so I can get all my kids in the game? Wayne says, fine, let's waive the mercy rule so you get all your kids in the game. DeWitt led 41-0 at halftime. So the mercy rule would have gone the other way had they have used it. But our congratulations to Wayne Schooks on a tremendous career, and he is a key reason why DeWitt's so good. When you keep giving the varsity well-prepared players every year, you can help see why they're so good.
Exactly, and that's the key component. Good coaching at that young level definitely paves the way for good, outstanding varsity teams. And you're right, DeWitt has been one of the most